guys, Dusty Smith here, and this is the month of religious bullshit, June 2017, part 2. Lots of crazy shit, let's do this. So I know it's hard to believe, folks, but every single month the religious shit seems to be getting worse and worse. In the last 6 weeks alone, 25 religious leaders were arrested for different crimes. In Alabama, a pastor and his wife were arrested after bringing an infant into a bar. They were charged with being drunk. In East Austin, a pastor was arrested for alleged sexual assault of a child. In Menlo Park, a pastor was arrested on suspicion of sex crimes. Carlsbad assistant pastor arrested accused of child molestation. Ex-Alabama pastor jailed in Georgia for kidnapping, assault, and feticide. A Bridgeport, Connecticut pastor was arrested on larceny and forgery charges. Director of Children's Ministry at Largo Church arrested for inappropriately touching teen. In Lake Forest, the youth pastor was accused of lewd acts with teens. Archbishop Archie Livingston in Dorchester, Massachusetts, has been arrested in a prostitution ring. A pastor in Campbellsville was arrested on drug charges. This Connecticut pastor was busted for selling the church to himself for $1. In Columbia, South Carolina, associate pastor charged in fatal park shooting bonds out of jail. This pastor was arrested for allegedly raping girls and operating a baby factory. A pastor from the Zion Church in Gwanda allegedly beat his wife to death with a hoe handle when she denied him sex. A pastor was arrested in Dallas for stealing $100,000 from his church. Priest arrested for online trading of animal parts. Police in Lagos arrest a pastor for allegedly beheading a boy for a ritual. South Carolina pastor charged in church arson. Retired pastor 66 is arrested for taking photos of his church secretary's cleavage and filming upskirt videos of her over 3 years. Pastor arrested for forcing pupils to watch porn and have sex with a mentally ill woman. A pastor was arrested after brutally caning a woman to cast out her demons. None was arrested for helping priest rape deaf children. Imam arrested for molesting a 7-year-old boy. Messianic rabbi accused of molesting 15-year-old girl. Former LDS bishop arrested for alleged child sex abuse. 25 of these arrests in 6 weeks alone, and that's just the ones we know about. It's amazing how much evil is still being done in the name of religion. And not to beat a dead horse on this subject, but can you imagine how many videos will be made if 25 social justice warriors were arrested in the last 6 weeks? Can you imagine if the SJWs were repeatedly raping children and robbing people? I mean, don't get me wrong, folks. I've done several videos against Black Lives Matter. I think they're very annoying in many ways. But at least they're only fucking stopping traffic and not raping our children. It's absolutely fucking insane how much of this evil bullshit still goes on in the name of religion. And the fact that so little of it is actually being covered. Honestly, I think people have religious fatigue where they've been inundated with this kind of religious evil bullshit for so long, over and over and over again. And eventually you kind of become numb to it. Eventually it becomes such an everyday thing, it's no longer a big deal anymore. But in my opinion, that's a very fucking dangerous mindset to have. We need to keep continuously exposing this stuff to as many people as possible. We cannot become numb to it and just let it become normal. Fuck these motherfuckers, let's burn them down with a spotlight. And I didn't even include this one in the list. In Australia, the very highest ranking member of the Vatican has been charged with sexual abuse. This is the most senior member of the Catholic Church in all of Australia. Unsurprisingly to anybody paying attention, this kind of abuse is going on at the highest level of the Catholic Church. And as I pointed out many times before, if you're a Catholic, if you're giving money to these people, they're using your money to cover up child abuse. They're using your money to fuck children. And if you're giving them money, shame on you. You're fucking pitiful. And because crazy right-wing Christians have taken over the entire government, right now the White House Office of Science and Tech Policy has no science division. The last 3 scientists to remain, all who were put there by Obama, have now left. This is just one more of the many dangers of having the right in power. I hate the two-party system, but of the two-party system, the Republicans definitely aren't the fucking party of science. No doubt about it, 100%. The Democratic side is the more scientifically responsible side. And this is just one more of the very, very many reasons that despite how pathetic the left has become in a lot of ways, I still support them over Republicans. They are obviously still the much lesser evil. And I honestly believe that we can point out problems on our own side, on the left, without just giving the right a total pass and helping them take power. In my opinion, it's perfectly fine to point out all the bullshit the left is doing, because they are doing a bunch of bullshit. As long as you're honest with people, that regardless of how shitty the left is, they're still nowhere near as shitty as the fucking right. And you motherfuckers don't have to like it, but it's the obvious goddamn truth to anybody who is intellectually honest with themselves. And as I mentioned before, those of you in other countries would be shocked at just how bizarre the people who support Trump in this country are. Here's a great example. Pastor Lance Wallanu gives a prayer in which he basically says, "Dear Jesus, if there are any tapes of Donald Trump that might get him impeached, please dissolve them immediately and remove them, along with any impeachment proceedings against Trump, from the face of the planet, as if by magic." Let's have a listen.
Tapes obstruction of justice, impeach. We cut off every word in Jesus' name. Tapes dissolve away. Obstruction of justice melt away. Impeachment, bye-bye in Jesus' name.
In the name of Jesus. I don't care if he's actually guilty or not. I don't care if there's tapes proving he's guilty. Jesus, please use your magic to help him get off anyway. This is so fucking stupid. This is literally the equivalent of asking Shaq from the movie Shazam to grant your wishes. Has exactly the same effect, which is nothing, you fucking moron. And one of the big stories last month were how these Christians were harassing this atheist lawyer who won the Pensacola cross case. And basically this female lawyer sued Pensacola over this giant cross that was on public land, and she won, so they had to take the cross down. So of course Christians showed her the love of Christ and harassed the fuck out of her about it. They doxed her all over social media, put her phone number out there so people could harass her. These idiots were trying to run her out of town, but the joke's on them because she doesn't even fucking live in Pensacola, Florida. They're like, here is the idiot attorney that fought for the removal of the cross in Pensacola. Let's make her famous and run her out of town. She also won the What a Cunt of the Year award. Beat my ex out of it, LOL. Call to the number on her picture. I did. I don't think they like me. What is it with Christians with their inability to spell and use correct grammar? They even misspelled EX, X, and it's only a 2-letter word. And this bitch, Sandra Mercer, posted emoticons of guns over her picture. Gerald Fowler's like, fucking cunt. Stuart Ferris is like, atheist, moron, hypocrite. Needs to go bye-bye like Afghanistan or Iraq. There are some not-so-subtle threats of violence. And Nancy Hyman says, she looks like she thinks she's beautiful and sexy. She is ugly as sin. Literally. And I can't see you that well, Nancy, but judging by this thumbnail, she's a lot better looking than you are. Cocksucking whore, witch hunt, sperm burping whore. It's just a shame nobody made her famous or turned her into a hit-and-run victim. You know, just like Jesus would have done. If harm comes to this lady, it'll be on your head, all of your heads. No, it will be on her head because she is making a choice to turn her back on God. So she will have no protection from God because of her decision. Others are not responsible for what she is doing. That's some bull fucking shit right there. If you encourage people to be violent towards this woman, if you promote violence, if you try to instigate violence towards her and somebody goes out and commits violence against her, then fuck yes, you are partially responsible, motherfuckers. Look here, fuckos. If the all-powerful God has a problem with this lawyer having a cross ban on public property, then what the fuck would he need you for? Can't the all-powerful God take care of it himself? As I've said many times before, if the all-powerful God needs your help, he's not God. And in North Carolina, 5 members of this church were arrested for kidnapping a gay man and trying to beat the demons out of him. I shit you fucking not. Anderson, a member of the notoriously abusive Word of Faith Fellowship, said the minister of the church was screaming at Fenner after a service. Anderson then slapped the victim, and the minister and dozens of other church members joined in. One of 5 people charged with beating a fellow church member to expel homosexual demons is testifying she started the physical assault by slapping the man. Sarah Anderson testified Friday that she told other leaders at World Faith Fellowship she thought Matthew Fenner was unclean and sinful. Minister Brooke Covington is standing trial on the kidnapping and assault charges. Anderson says Covington began the confrontation by screaming at Fenner after January 13th service at the church in Spindale, North Carolina. She says she then slapped Fenner, and then Covington and about 30 others joined in, slapping, beating, choking, and screaming at the man for 2 hours. Pieces of fucking shit. This poor fucking gay guy, probably just going to this church because he wants fellowship, because he wants friends, because he wants to be a part of something, and this is how they fucking treat him. A lot of people have been telling me they really enjoy these The Month in Religious Bullshit videos, but they really get depressed watching them, and I totally understand fucking why. But no matter how hard it is, we can't look away. We have to keep calling this bullshit out, or it will never fucking end. The only way we will ever kill this kind of religious bullshit for good is if we shame this behavior into extinction. And in God's a Dick news, a man dies from a flesh-eating bacteria after going swimming with a new Christian tattoo. That's right, a 31-year-old man who got tattoos of a crucifix and praying hands died in the worst possible way. He ignored warnings to wait at least 2 weeks before going swimming and took a dip in the Gulf of Mexico 5 days after getting ink. That's when the flesh-eating bacteria came. And of course, Jesus didn't do a fucking thing to help you, dude. This is yet one more lesson for people. No matter how pious you are, no matter how faithful you are, Jesus ain't never gonna fucking help you. It's almost like he doesn't even exist at all. And honestly, I'm not heartless. I do feel sorry for this dude. I'm sorry he died. But this is actually a teachable moment for everybody out there, no matter how much you think God has your back. If you get a fucking tattoo, do not go swimming for at least 3 fucking weeks. Because even if you believe you and Jesus are homies, he'll let you die of a flesh-eating bacteria in a heartbeat. He's kind of a fucking dick. And right here in my home state of Mississippi, State Representative Robert Forster is trying to have abortion banned. And it's not bad enough that he's just trying to have abortion banned here, but they're not even trying to pretend there's any kind of separation of church and state. His reasonings are 100% religious. In a letter about his bill that he sent to the Mississippi governor, he says, "Our enemies are mocking us and not just defying the Constitution, a set of laws created by man, but mocking and defying God. It is our duty as men and women of Christ to stand in the gap between tyranny and evil and those who are unable to defend themselves. There is one set of laws above all others, and that is God's law. 9 judges cannot override God's law. Young women should not be faced with this burdensome decision any longer. It should simply not be an option." Yeah, you ladies should not even have the option to decide what you want to do with your own bodies. If you get pregnant, you should be forced to become an incubator and have the baby against your own will. I mean, sure, telling women what they can and cannot do with their own body is basically just slavery. But if you stupid bitches didn't want to be slaves, you should have kept your fucking legs shut. The fact that you're whores is not God's problem. Maybe next time you won't be such a fucking godless slut. Fucking dickhead. He goes on to say, "We must uphold God's law. If it is the last thing that I do as a state legislator, I will see it that every last abortion clinic in this state is closed." In his service, Robert Forster. Well, I really do hope this is the last fucking thing you ever do as a representative in Mississippi. Unfortunately, because there are so many idiots in this fucking state, I'm afraid you'll probably be rewarded for this kind of bullshit. Even though this probably won't pass, this is probably good for your political career. But enjoy that shit while you can, Robert, because Mississippi is changing slowly but surely. People like me are helping to change it. Outdated dinosaurs like you will eventually go fucking extinct. No matter how much you may wish it weren't so, women are not your property. I know you assholes long for a long dead biblical past in which you could trade women for goats. And yeah, unfortunately, Mississippi might be the last state to ever do it. But eventually, primitives like you will be voted out of office. The country is no longer on board with you assholes, and sooner or later, you're all gonna go. And in China, an 80-year-old Buddhist woman forced the evacuation of 150 passengers off a plane when she threw coins into the engine to pray for safety. With idiots like this in the world, I'm never flying again. Imagine how goddamn retarded you would have to be to believe that throwing coins into a fucking plane engine would make it safer. I know this sounds mean, but I kind of wish we had an island where we could quarantine all these people on. Like just an island of fucking religious nuts. Quarantine this sickness from the rest of society. Because in my opinion, this kind of stupidity is way too dangerous to go unchecked. Some people are just too stupid to deserve to be part of society. And you guys might have heard about how at the Arkansas State Capitol, they put up the 10 Commandments, and less than 24 hours later, some dude destroyed it. And I actually at first thought it must be an atheist. I just thought it was some pissed off atheist dude who didn't want the 10 Commandments at the state capitol. But nope, I was wrong. It actually turns out it was done by a born-again Christian that just really hates when church and state mix together. And to be honest, I was perfectly prepared to speak out against atheists for destroying property like this. I think vandalism like this isn't really a great idea. I've criticized Christians before who vandalize atheist monuments, and I was prepared to have the same reaction when I thought an atheist was doing the same thing to Christian monuments. In my opinion, if there's an issue like this that needs to be addressed, we should address it through the court system and not with vandalism. And at first, I was pretty sure that what this guy did was going to be blamed on atheists, but nah, he's a fucking Christian. So better luck next time, Jesus freaks, but you can't put this one on us. And I'm going to finish this video up with this one. Pastor John MacArthur says, "No one is gay. Gay people simply don't exist." Let's have a listen.
Well, I don't know if it's for me, but no one is gay. If you mean by that, that's some hardwiring. No one is gay. People commit adultery, they commit sins of homosexuality, they lie, they steal, they cheat. They are not gay any more than an adulterer is hardwired to be forced by his own nature to commit adultery.
Sorry dude, but I've seen every episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, and these guys are gay as fuck. Ain't no fucking two ways about it. These guys ain't faking. These guys ain't just choosing to be more feminine. As far as these guys are concerned, it's really fucking obvious that something biological is going on to make them more feminine. And also, sin doesn't exist, so fuck you. I mean, honestly, I just don't understand why you guys are so obsessed with what other dudes put in their booty holes. It ain't none of your fucking business what a guy puts in his booty hole. Just like it ain't none of my fucking business what you put in your booty hole. Honestly, when a guy like this says there's no such thing as gay people, it makes me think he's trying to tell himself that. But sorry, old white dude, you can't just wish your gayness away. And even if you could, you shouldn't fucking do it because there's nothing goddamn wrong with it. I didn't choose to be straight. Gay people don't choose to be gay. People are attracted to whoever the fuck they're attracted to, and it's none of your goddamn business. And I don't know if it's just me, folks, but this religious bullshit seems to be getting worse and worse every single month. It doesn't seem to be getting better. Honestly, I think so much of the focus and spotlight has been taken off Christians, and now they're hiding in the shadows, scurrying around like cockroaches, and being as evil as they've been in recent memory. And in my opinion, as I keep saying, I think the sunlight is the best disinfectant. I think putting the spotlight on these motherfuckers as much as we possibly can is the best way to mock this behavior into extinction. It's up to us to evolve our society past this ancient bullshit, and I really hope you guys will join me in doing it. Thanks for watching. I really love you guys, and as always, until next time, logic. Fuck yes. Hey guys, Dusty Smith here, and as you can see, the kitties are getting bigger. Those of you who remember from last month, we rescued these kitties from a storm drain. If you like my show, please consider becoming a Patreon on patreon.com. My Patreons are really the only reason my channel still exists, and all the donations I get on my Patreon channel go to support the Humanist Society of Mississippi Animal Sanctuary, where we help out cute guys like this. So if you can help out, please do it. Thanks a lot.